Hi everyone, it's Pam with Silver and Sparkles, and we are going to make a fun, or I think it is anyway, accordion flip mini journal. Okay, so you can open it kind of like regular pages like this, right? Or you can unfold it, and it folds right back. All right, so I am using some book page as the base. And then I am using a paper kit from a creator on Etsy. Her shop is LianaScraps. I think that's how you say it. I will have it linked for you in the description below. And this is her amazing Motifs kit. So I just thought the botanical images were incredible. So I made a bunch of journaling cards out of the papers. And then on this side, I decorated the pages with them. Okay. Now this kit, they're full-size journaling pages. So it's a spread, like with this one and this one, I don't know if it was those two, but like for one page and then the other page, like 2 half pages, you know, so you can fold it in half for a signature. I just printed them at a smaller percentage size so that, and put a couple on a page, you know, so that I could use them this size. So anyway, again, all kinds of things you can do if you see a digital that you like, and maybe I will make a full-size journal with those size journal pages one day with that kit, but I knew I would love using it this way. So I'm going to show you how we did it. I also used a bunch of washi tape from IEEBEE, and this is their Silver Flower Dream. And if you've ever ordered for them, they've actually, I think they're having like their 2-year anniversary, and they've got new packaging. So I think the majority, I don't know, but are coming in these really pretty boxes now. And I've had others that have come in the fancy boxes, but this collection, it used to come in kind of a just packaging. You'd pull the tape out, throw away. And now it comes in this box and I love it. So I do collaborate with IEEBEE. I have a link, an affiliate link for you guys in the description. And if you use that link, you can use my coupon code for 30% off anything you purchase. So if you're in the mood or need some washi tape, stickers, they have all kinds of stuff, please use that link and use the coupon to get 30% off. It's Silver Sparkles. All the info will be in the description of the video. Thanks for letting me tell you about that, but we are going to use Silver Flower Dreams today. It's one of my favorites. Love it. Okay, so there's that. So let's get started. I'm going to show you how we're going to make this beauty. Okay, so I am using book page from Time Life Encyclopedia of Gardening Perennials, and I've used this book quite a few times. The paper's a little shiny, but it works really good. It holds up nicely for this type of project. Trying to see when this one was. 1972. So it's, you know, vintage. Now, there are some gorgeous images, and I've used these for other projects. I save those to cut out and use. What we're going to use today are paper that mostly just have font on them. So you can use any book page you want. Of course, you may need to adjust sizes. If you don't have book page to craft with, you can make this with scrapbook paper, you know, whatever you want. I am looking for my ruler. We're not doing measuring and all of that, but to give you a perspective of what I'm doing, each page is 10 3/4 by 8. All right, so you could, in theory, use 8.5 by 11 paper, right? Because that's 10 3/4, and even with the little, I liked the little edges, so I left them by 8. Okay, it just looks a little bigger, doesn't it? I don't know why, but it does. Okay, so let me show you how I did mine. I took one of the cards from this kit, And this one is one of the way I printed them, one of the little bit larger ones. It's 3 1/4 by 5. And I used it to help me determine the height I wanted my little accordion journal to be. Because all I'm gonna do, see how I'm using it? Here, I'll move this one. To help me see how deep to make this pocket. Because once I crease this right here, this is going to be the height of my little accordion journal. And since this is one of the larger cards, I know even if I end up with one that I printed or cut a little more narrow, here, like this one, or this one, it will fit too, right? So I'm using one of the big ones to help me decide. All right, so I've done that. Now I want to fold my second piece the same height. So I'm just going to use the first one to help me. And again, I mean, if it's off by a smidge, the world won't end. There we go. See how easy? Yay. All right, so now I have 2 pieces of paper, and with that fold, it now measures a smidge past 5 1/4. All right, so just to give you an idea of how I did it. I sometimes do projects with lots of measuring and scoring for you guys, and I put the measurements down there, but this really does depend on the paper, and you don't have to use this paper kit, right? You can use whatever ephemera, journaling cards, a whole mixture. You could use your scraps, whatever you want to use. So there you go. Now, I am going to pick a washi tape. I think last time I held it together with this pretty kind of green one. I think I'm going to go for this one this time. And it has some of that silver in there. I guess the name of silver. Okay. So get you a piece of washi tape that is about the height of your pages. I am overlapping mine only by about 1/4 of an inch. And I'm just gonna stick it down. Now washi tape, sometimes I will reinforce with other glue or adhesive because, you know, it's kind of removable or isn't super adhesive. But for this, I'm just burnishing it down really well because I am going to, I'm going to just wrap this around. I am going to be layering on top and have some other things. I think this one I'm just going to trim off. There we go. And now I want to put a piece on this side. And again, if it doesn't come all the way up, it doesn't matter. I've got it on both sides now, and you could patch that if you want to, but I'm not worried about it. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and close up. I'm just going to use the same one for now. The ends. Just closing them up by using washi tape folded around. So it's super easy, but the washi tape definitely adds some beauty to our project. And again, oops, I'm just kind of eyeballing everything. And if you want to, you know, you could have glued it first and then put the washi on there to make it pretty. But it really is that easy. Okay, there we go. Now, the next thing that I want to do is I'm going to take that same, I think this is the one I was using, but take the card. And again, I'm not measuring. We know this is 3 1/4 inches, so I could measure over, you know, not quite 3 1/2 or something, and then start my fold. But I'm just going to use the card to help me know how wide this first fold is going to be. All right, and I just folded it over. Now, if you want to ink things, maybe do that before you're taping. I didn't even ink mine, and I think it turned out looking great. I inked cards and embellishments and things, but it's up to you. All right, so I have that first fold, right? And then you guessed it. I'm just going to use that fold to help me do an accordion fold. And I am trying to stay neat and get everything lined up. And now this one, and it's never quite, like it's not on where the papers come together, and it's okay. You just have to kind of, there's a few more layers here where we have it hinged or, you know, connected, but it works. All right, I'm just really getting that creased well because again, this is actually where they're hinged, so I'm over, and it's perfectly fine, okay? All right, and then just keep going to get to the end of the paper. And this last one, well, look at that. On this one, it's almost perfect. On, I don't know what I did, but on this one, it was just a little more narrow. And I kind of like that, and it made it a skinnier pocket here on the front in this panel. But this one, probably just something about how I folded it or the card I chose. They're all the same size, which is great. Now, if that happens to you and you want it a little more narrow, chop it off and then add some washi tape. I'm going to leave mine. I'm fine with it. Now, I liked having the pocket on the front. And then when you open it, this whole side is pockets, right? And then when you go this way, it's pages. Now, you make this your own. All I did was decorate my pages, right? And I did use some of my quotes from my handwritten quote kit that's in my Etsy shop. And I used some doodads that I had. But here I used most of the, like just from my scrap bin and my doodad folder, I just used some embellishments. You can, but I could have added pockets. I could have added flip outs. I could have added flip ups, pages, little scrappy pads. Again, this can just be whatever you want it to be. I am just decorating mine because I love these images. So it's something that, you know, I can look at. So that's my vision for it, but you do whatever makes you happy. Now, I think the first thing I'm going to do is I did prep some cards. So these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 pockets. And if they're not exactly the right size, we'll trim them down. But I went ahead and mounted these on some of my vintage index cards because I thought the color was perfect and it gives them a little more sturdiness. I haven't decorated or added any ribbons, but you'll see they should all fit in these pockets. Now this one is a little more narrow because of the washi tape. So let me pick one of the skinny ones. There we go. I'm gonna put this one here. Now you can add just a tiny bead of glue in between each of these. I did that with this one. So they're just kind of stuck together. I'll show you how I did it. It's optional. All I did, and I don't know if you can see the crease right here, is I just did a little glue just like that. And I tried to keep it, you know, neat, narrow, because I don't want to take up too much space in these pockets. All right. Just like that. Give it a little more structure, I guess. Oh, this is the last one. But that's simple. So let me just toss the cards that I pre-made in here. Make sure I didn't glue anything closed mistakenly. And if I want to add ribbons, if I want to decorate them, of course, that would be great. I loved this brown ribbon. It was in my stash. I just thought the dark ribbon really popped with all of these colors. Okay, so we have those. And then I have these left. And I printed this kit at the reduced size one time. So I have lots to play with, lots of images. So then all I did for these pages is I went through and I glued them in, and then I used some washi tape to embellish, and then we'll come through and decorate some of these pockets. So I'm just gonna show you, again, I know mine is kind of prepped and ready to go, but if you have a paper kit or scrapbooking paper that you like, you could, you know, start with that kind of layering of just, you know, putting pieces down right onto the book page and then coming back through with extra embellishments, quotes, whatever you want to do. So it's fun. The other thing this does, even if I was going to add pockets and stuff, I'd probably put some type of layer, just it gives that book page, the page that I'm using is quite sturdy and holds up well, but you know, it is from 1972, and this is going to help reinforce it. And I'm just randomly picking ones that I want to use. I like all of them. I just got so excited when I found this kit. Right. There we go. I'm almost done. And then we're going to have fun adding some extras and doing those pockets. So the pockets, I just, like I said, I pulled out my doodad folder and just got creative. And I like how even with, you know, these provide like kind of that consistent thread through the little mini journal, but then I can get really creative with my doodads and my scraps. So it was fun. All right, we're getting there. Now I did like this one, how I used this label and I actually backed it with washi tape. And I put it on another piece of cardstock just so that it's nice and sturdy. It's not going to bend up on me. So we'll probably do some type of, maybe right here, tab or label or something. So let's see what we have. I pulled a few things out. And then I also have these 3 extra that we could make a tab or something out of if we want to. Maybe we'll do it with this one the way I did the original to show you how I did that. So it's just a label from a kit that was in my doodad folder. And if you're not familiar with my doodad folder, I'll pull it out. I have several. And I have a video that shows how to make these ephemera folders if you're new to my channel. I know it's a lot, but it's so easy. This one was made with file folders, and it's just strips of paper glued so that you have different size pockets for all your little scrap, you know, pieces of ephemera from, you know, kits or whatever that you've been using. And then we can use portions of these to decorate the pockets as we go. Right? But again, when you have a doodad folder, you can just pull it out when you're in the middle of something and hopefully find some things that might work for you. I'm just randomly pulling out some things that I think might be cute in my little accordion folder. So I have this size, and I'll try to link the video to this because I can't remember what I called it, but it wasn't a great name. I've really been using things out of this one, so I need to refill it because I have pieces in little places all over. So anyway, those are super helpful, and those are the 2 I use most of the time, but they're super helpful in keeping all of my little pieces in place. Okay, I am going to glue this to one of these index cards to back it so that it's nice and sturdy. I'm just going to do this corner. And then I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to put a piece of washi tape. And let's pick a different one just to have a different one. I think I've used this one. I do need, I think, one of the wide ones. Oh, I did use this. I like it. Thought it looked good with the different botanical prints. All right. I'm not going to fuss with it. All right, it was this corner. So I'm just laying it down. Get it pressed on there really good. And now when I cut it out, it's going to have this nice thickness and this pretty pattern on the back from the tape. Isn't that cute? Okay, and this, with a touch of ink, is going to become just a little tab right there. And I think even with this inside, it's going to look cute. I think I'm going to turn it this way. All right, so I'm just going to add glue to a portion. And I'm going to put it right here on the edge. Over a little. All right, we're going to let that dry. And let's think about how we want to decorate this pocket. So I did have fun layering some different washi tapes. So we'll use a piece of this. I just tore a few strips. And on this one, actually, I did washi tape for the hold it a strip, and then this was just a scrap on my desk. It looks like washi tape. We will pick a tape, though, for ours. Let's see. Can you guys even see these? They all, even though they're all very different, I just think it's really interesting how they all kind of end up coordinating, if that makes sense. Let's do, I really enjoyed this one last time. Let's do a piece of this. Sometimes I struggle with the skinnier ones, how to use them. And I definitely enjoyed using them here. And I'll show you some of the different things that I did as we go. All right. This one is a little long, so I'm just going to tear it. Okay. So I have, you know, a little decoration going on here. Let's pick a quote. All right, I think I've used this one, but we'll use it again. There's nothing on this earth more to be prized than true friendship. And these are in my Etsy shop in all different colors. Same 12 quotes, but like 10 different colors. So they hopefully will coordinate with quite a few different projects. All right, let me put this here, and then we'll grab another little piece of washi tape. This is even a different one, just a little tiny piece, and I'm gonna just sit it here so it gives the appearance maybe that it's the washi tape that's holding our little quote on. Isn't that cute? And then the orange, kind of picked up the orange or the reddish here, so I really like that too. All right, so I am going to show you, hopefully quickly, how I just went through pretty fast and decorated 1, 2, 3, 4, these additional 5 pockets. The front, you know, I kind of wanted to think through a different way, but let's go back to this piece, and if I can find the end, relying on my fingers to help me find it. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to save that little scrap in case I want to use it. All right. All I'm going to do is lay a piece down like that. And the other one, I think I stopped here and used it for one. Oh, wow. I have this torn all funky. I hate when I do that. But it's okay. I will fix it later. Ugh. And then let's do maybe, I haven't used this one yet. All right. So this is actually my second set of, what did I say, Silver Flower Dream. I picked this one out myself a while back when I was doing a collaboration video for IEEBEE, and they sent it to me and we crafted with it. Like I said, it was not in the fancy box, but it was great. And then they sent me a surprise box and this was in there, ha, and I was like, yay, because I've really gone through it, and I'm sometimes really bad about, if I think they're so pretty, I'll hoard them a little bit and not use them. So now I don't feel, you know, I was like so excited that I could use them again, and because I forced myself, right? Not forced, but I was like, Pam, don't just hold on to them. They're too pretty, you need to use them. So anyway, I was really excited, and then I got to see the new packaging. All right, so this is a little big, but I just, again, I grabbed some things while I was showing you the doodad folders, and I am going to just randomly pick a few things that I'm going to use to decorate pockets with without overthinking it too much and making myself crazy. So I had this postcard I just ripped in half, and I'm going to use both pieces of it. Maybe I'll use it like that to kind of give that illusion. And then we don't even have to use things this big. I used fussy cuts and different things on the original one. These just happen to be what I grabbed. We'll put her, maybe you don't want to go over where your crease lines are. So that's, you know, that's important. Ooh, maybe some flowers. I think this one, I'm going to cut our tear a little bit smaller. We'll put her there. I'm not sure I want all of these quite so tall. Maybe. I mean, we'll have these two tall ones, and it's okay. It can be taller than the pocket. But there, that's a little bit better. And I'll show you, you know, we just will be very careful when we glue them on. And then maybe something like this, and we'll add some washi or something to kind of fill it up. All right, I'm feeling like I need to separate the two super vintagey looking ones. Okay, again, this kind of looks like a mess, but just stick with me. Again, I didn't, you know, plan out how I was going to decorate, so I'm just going with it. Now, this one, I do not want to glue my pocket closed, so I'm going to be careful to only put glue on a portion, and then I can add some kind of right along the top of that pocket like that, and everything's okay. I did not accidentally glue it closed. And I don't know if you guys can tell, I keep rubbing my nose a little bit, touching my face. I'm so sorry. My allergies are really, really bothering me. Hopefully you can't tell. Okay. I'm going to keep going. Same thing. This one is a little bit shorter. But just double check, you know. And if you are really concerned, like put a little piece of like parchment paper or something like that. All right, this one I'm going to bring to this side. Okay, fun. All right, so very quickly, this starts looking like, wow, there's a lot happening. And that makes me happy. If this isn't your style, then you can decorate yours differently. I might, on the other side with the pages, do another quote or something. Or this would be a good panel for a quote, wouldn't it? Let's see what we have. Let's see. How about this one? Keep your face always toward the sunshine and shadows will fall behind you. Walt Whitman. So that kind of goes with the friendship, I think. I don't know. But there we go. Yeah, That'll look nice right there. And this was the page that had kind of, I don't know, a little bit of a neutrally yellow and then sort of maybe a tea dye something. But I kind of like this one looking really scrappy and fun. And how about just a little label right here? I'm gonna put it right here, this one. All right. Again, you can keep going, do as much or as little as you want. And then, what happened here? Oh, it's just a scrap. It's a scrap that's stuck on the pocket. All right, so then on these, again, you can start to take them up a notch by adding some little pieces. You can add, again, words. We can, I'm trying to decide where I want to put this. Oh, maybe something like that. You know, we can add ribbon, pockets, you name it. There we go. And let's cut this 7%. And I am using my tea dye distress ink. I don't know if I showed that to you guys. I think it's off camera. That's what I keep grabbing. And if you're new to my channel, I use that one quite a bit. All right, and I think I am off camera, so we're gonna bring this back over here. Yeah, just put it right there. Okay, and again, I think you get the picture. You can keep going, you can keep decorating. So I will probably go through and do ribbons on the majority of these. But I think for this one, I'm going to put it kind of like I did the prototype, a little to the left corner. And I still have some of this, not a ton. And just do a little ribbon. And then I can go through the other ones later if I want to. And honestly, I think it looks great without the ribbon, but I like that little element of texture, especially here on the front. Let's see. Let's see how it does. Yeah. It takes these a little while to get them twisted the way I like. I am thrilled. Thrilled. I hope you guys like it too. Please leave me a comment. Let me know if you plan to make one. Like I said, if you don't have book page, pick some other paper. If you, I'm just going to set that like that. If you, oh, let me just show you when I save these. You know, if you're going to make one, please let me know. I would love to know your thoughts and if you liked this project. So you can just use these little pieces like they're helping hold things on maybe. There we go. You can use all your little scraps. So anyway, thank you for watching. If you're new, I hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel. And I hope this inspired you a little bit to get out maybe just some of your supplies that you have on hand, book page, washi tape, scraps, or a paper kit that you love. I'm really excited about these cards. So everything will be linked for you down below in the description if you want to go take a look. Thanks, guys. Until next time, have a great day.